Hey, everybody. Oh, excuse me. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and once again, I am live streaming. And tonight, I am not joined by Avery. He was feeling a little under the weather, so that's okay. I hope he gets better, mainly because we have work tomorrow, he and I. But I'm going to go ahead and send out the invite to a couple of the buddies who I haven't talked to in a while, see if they're able to join. If not, that's okay. I can run this shindig all by myself. I gotta tell you all a funny story. I'll wait till at least one person gets in here. But hope everybody out there had a wonderful holiday. I had a pretty fantastic one. Spent time with the wife and kids and so forth, and just had a good time. Oh, Michael, hey, Happy New Year to you too, man. I will be live streaming on the 31st, but it'll be early. So we're not the type of people that stay up late on New Year's. The last time I remember staying up till midnight on purpose. Now I've done it, accidentally when the wife and I are not paying attention at the time. But the last time we did it on purpose was 2000. So funny haha or funny uh-oh. Well, do you guys ever have that experience where you go into Walmart and you need to pick up one thing, and then you go and you buy a whole bunch of crap, and then you leave and realize you forgot that one thing? Well, I have a tendency to do that when it comes to home improvement projects. I have a tendency to start something, and it balloons into something more. And, hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, Avery, how's it going? That's all right. That's all right. You get your rest. Avery says sorry, can't make it tonight, and that's okay. That's all right. I can helm this ship all by myself. I'm fully capable. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? Oh, no problem, man. Appreciate you being a supporter. You're wonderful, and we really appreciate it. Hey, PS, how's it going, man? Oh, I'm so glad you finally got your package too. That's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I got a package in the mail today as well, and I want to share it with you guys. Misfit Corner Comics got not only its first Christmas card, but also its first fan art. Guys, all right. So in other words, that's my kryptonite is words. But I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But what I was going to tell you about the home improvement project is we found a hole in the this big in the dryer vent leading out to the outside, and the cats have figured out that it was a way for mice to get into the house, and in the past couple of days they've caught 2 of them, which that's what you have cats for, to take care of that mice population. But I knew I needed to replace the AC vent. I mean, not the AC vent, the dryer vent. So I went out to Home Depot today, maybe my 3rd favorite store ever. I love going to Home Depot. And I bought a new dryer vent. And of course, in order to get to the dryer vent, I have to move all the crap away from it and get behind, where it is. I actually have a bookcase right next to the washer that's got a hole cut out on both sides, so the dryer vent actually goes through the bookcase, so the bookcase fits flush against the wall. And there was some water damage done to some of the floorboards over right in front of the door. This is an old house, and crap like that water leaks in all the time. And I started picking at the floorboards that were kind of rotted and need to be replaced. Needless to say, an hour and a half later, I have a nice big hole right in front of the door. And I went to Home Depot again. I made a second trip, bought some 2x4s and some good screws, and started to. What you need to do in this situation is, before you lay back down the plywood or whatever to, cover it, I need to build up a frame within the framed area in order to, support it. And needless to say, it started to get dark before I got done, and the project did not finish. As a matter of fact, you know what? I might actually show you guys this hole. Oh yeah, that's my trash can. All right, so you see that big piece of that piece of wood right there, that's not actually wood, that's a composite board. But underneath it is a big old hole. Oh, give me just a second. Oh. All right. Oh. Look at that. There's a hole in my floor. There's a piece. Old house. That's what happens. But needless to say, you guys don't want to see the rest of my room. It's pretty disastrous. But here, I'll hook you back up so you guys can join me again on the drawing table. Oh, of course, we need some light. Put my headphones back on. All right. So, needless to say, that's my project for tomorrow. After work, I'll be working on that. But, all right. So, you guys got a little trip around the room, very briefly. You got to see my trash can, which I'm sure you're all thrilled about being able to do that. And you got to see the hole that I made in the floor. So, tomorrow, I will take care of that. But, as I said before, fan art. Let me show you guys what I got. Oh, I almost showed you the package. I don't want to give away anybody's stuff, but this is an original sketch by my friend Rick. Rick over at Cross Comics did this sketch for me, and this is fantastic. One of the things I love about having people do sketches for you is to see your character in their style, not just copying your style, but doing their own thing. And this was actually pretty fantastic. I am going to make sure it gets scanned in and it gets included in the next volume of Hero, because in the back of the first 2 books of Hero is a bunch of fan art as well as commissions. And this is going to get framed and it's going to get added to my set, added to my collection of Hero art. So Rick, if you're out there, I appreciate it, man. That's very awesome. Very, very cool. I'm going to have to do something for him sometime soon. Oh, every time he invites me to his live streams when he does them, and it's always when I'm at work. I never get an opportunity to join, but one of these days we'll have to make some time and go visit him again. Because Rick and Cross Comics, definitely good people. So, all right. What else are we going to talk about? Oh yeah, I forgot. I almost completely forgot. I got an opportunity to go back to Ollie's the other day. Yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. And pick up some more graphic novels. And I wanted to share with you what I got. These are part of my extended Christmas present from my parents because they gave me money and I spent it on books. P.S. Melter says, he's on now. I'll let him know you love and got his drawing. Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, P.S. All right, let me show you guys what I got today when I went by Ollie's. We picked up 3 different Harley Quinn hardbacks. These are volumes, let's see, 3, 4, and 6. So obviously they didn't go in order or anything, but that's okay. This one here includes the holiday special and Valentine's Day special and annual number 1. One of the things that I like about what they do with Harley Quinn with those specials is they get a bunch of different artists in there doing stuff. And this one has some really incredible artists working on it. You know, you got Ben Caldwell's in here. You got Bruce Timms. That's Ben Caldwell right there. Joe Quinones, whatever his name is. I'm bad with names. You all should know that by now. Kelly Jones drawing Harley Quinn. Isn't that awesome? So this is one of those ones I'll probably enjoy more for the art than the story. But still, it was, I think, I don't remember. I think 2 of these were $5.99 and 1 was $4.99. So I mean, you know, for what little bit I paid for them, these are an excellent buy. But this one was originally $24.99. This one was also $24.99, and this one was $24.99. So that's $75 worth of retail books that I paid, what, $12, $17 for? I mean, it's great price. Great deal, great deal. Especially hardcover. And then I also picked up Batman and Superman Volume 5, Truth Hurts. And I know I got more here. What else did I get? I showed you guys the Robins, so we've already done that one. Oh yes, here we go. Here's another one. Detective Comics Volume 7, Anarchy. This one's awesome because it's Francis Manapul on art, but the first 2 issues that are in this book are the 2-issue story called Terminal, which features art by John Paul Leon, and that's awesome. This is just gorgeous stuff. This is the kind of stuff Avery likes. John Paul Leon is just really, 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 really cool. Look at this page where this plane is smashing through the airport terminal. Fantastic. Beautiful. And granted, it was only 2 issues, but that's okay. I've got it in a hardback edition. And then you got Francis Manapul here doing his version of Batman, which is actually pretty good. I love the watercolor look to his style. But this is definitely going to be a fun read, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, this one here, Batman, Superman, Volume 5, Truth Hurts. I'm not sure about this one, but it's got some interesting art in it. But like I said, it was only $5.99, so, you know, another hardcover for that price. Very nice, very nice. I look forward to reading this. There was one more I got. Oh, let me see if I find... Oh, yeah, here it is. This is actually an oldie. This is Guardians of the Galaxy and All New X-Men, The Trial of Jean Grey by Bendis. You know, I'm always bad with names. Sarah Pichelli and Stuart Immonen. I wish the whole thing was done by Stuart Immonen. His art is fantastic, but he only did like half the book, but it's still worth it just for that half. I read this one already. This was originally $24.99. It's really, really thin. So getting it for either $4.99 or $5.99 is a much better deal. But it includes Guardians of the Galaxy 11 through 13 and All New X-Men 22 through 24. Now, I know I have a couple of the All New X-Men, the first books that they put out, which was pretty much all Stuart Immonen's art. So those are fantastic. But this was a nice little capper. The story kind of left me a little flat in the end, but that's all right. That's kind of Bendis' way. He builds up and then he kind of leaves you flat at the end. At least with some of the stuff where he was, you know, on his way out. I don't remember when this one was published. Let me check. Let's see here. 2014. So this is a 4-year-old graphic novel, but probably in a warehouse for who knows how long. But definitely cool. I appreciate it, Mom and Dad. Thank you very much. Oh, there was one more that I got. It was another Batman Superman one. I don't have it near me right this second because it's probably in the bookshelf in the bathroom right now, which is where I do most of my reading. But I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that do that. But if I get a chance, I'll review that one later. Oh, wow. I just realized the rain is coming down right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but the dog definitely does. All right, so we're going to draw tonight. Let's see. What are we going to draw? Oh, I was actually going through the pages that I've done so far for book 3, looking for opportunities to make some corrections, you know, make some panels better. And actually, I'm really, really happy with the way book 3 is coming out so far. And maybe in a little bit, I'll show you guys some pages. But let me get my pad out. And we're going to draw. Probably do need to work on that backup story, but that's probably going to take a little bit. That's going to take more time than I have during this video, so we may give that a rest for now. Oh, forgot my camera. Let me get the camera open and going. Oh, so did everybody have a good holiday? Good Christmas? Family, friends, you know, that kind of thing? We had a pretty good one. Actually, it was kind of funny. This is one of those years where both kids were working Christmas Day. so we only saw them for a little bit. Mike worked most of the day, most of the evening, and my daughter worked most of the day. So, that's what happens when you're dedicated people with jobs. I, on the other hand, had the day off of work, paid holiday, so I was very happy about that. So, all right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. I'm trying to debate. Do I want to go ahead and do... All right. So the story that is going to be the extra story in the end of Hero Book 1 refers back to actually two different events that happens in the book. One is the story within a story, and the other is actually something that really happens. And we're going to kind of combine them together. So, T.S. Mocha says, it's not over. They haven't left yet. I give you company in the panel, but the 2- and 4-year-olds are running around screaming. Oh, I understand that completely. Tell you what, there's something wonderful about having adult children. Everybody out there who has small children, trust me, it's something wonderful to look forward to. Both my kids are adults. Both of them have jobs. Both of them have their own vehicles. They have their own money, and sometimes it's really good to have that in your life. And anybody who has small children, it's coming. It's coming. It'll take time, but it's coming. And it's one of those fantastic things of being a parent is having adult children. I am a big fan of them. If you guys don't have adult children, go out and get some because they're awesome. Actually, my kids are pretty good. So, matter of fact, the boy is he's at work right now, but he's dog sitting for my sister, who's out of town with her husband. So that's one of the other things that happens. Since we don't go anywhere very often, we get asked to watch people's pets and so forth. So that's all right. I actually went by and fed the dogs while he was at work because he's not going to be home till later. And I like dogs, so that works out okay. P.S. says, I just want the remote from the movie click just for the mute button. Yeah, I remember that movie. That was fantastic. My favorite part of that whole movie, other than the fact what's her name was in it, the girl from Underworld. I mean, she's hot, so she makes any movie she's in better. But the part where where he comes home and they're going to have an argument, and he presses the fast forward button and fast forwards through the argument, and then she goes to bed. He's like, "Wow, that was great." Oh man, I wish I had a button like that. Not to settle arguments with my wife, of course. That's fine, but get through a billion other things that goes on during the day. All right. So in this particular story, we go back to the Ashmore tree, and one of the characters that we get introduced in the Hero Book 1, and that's Uncle Quincy. And Uncle Quincy has to go away, and he's asked a fellow well, not a hero, but a fellow member of the community, the raccoon character that we designed the other day, to guard the tree while he's gone. It's an important thing, and he asked him to do it, and the raccoon character's like, absolutely, yes, of course I'll do it, no problem. You can trust me. I'll take care of it, no problem. And then the funny part is the page turn, he's going to be standing next to his stick, sleeping. and gives an opportunity for my new rat characters to get introduced. So have Quincy leaving, and then 5 minutes later, the raccoon is sound asleep. And then we're going to have the introduction of the rat characters coming up behind him. Hey, D, how's it going? It must be cold because you're wearing 2 gloves. No, I said the reason why I'm wearing 2 gloves last time is I got into a wrestling match with the kitten, and she tore up this hand, and it looks pretty bad. I've got scratches and stuff all over it, and it looks really bad, and I'd rather not put that on camera. I was having so much fun with her, I didn't realize she was tearing the crap out of my hand. And I actually made a video of it. I'll actually put the video up eventually. It's like 10 minutes of her just tearing into my hand and my arm, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, you guys don't need to be disgusted by my, as Avery says, my skeevies. All right, so this is the layout for the first 3 pages. What I'm going to do is work on. This is actually tell the kitten that no means no. That's right. Well, that's Avery's joke for me. So hey, no means no, and he was talking about the kitten. But so this is the part of the this is how I do things. I first sit down, and even though I haven't written, there's no story, there's no there's no story, there's no dialogue, none of that stuff is written out. I just know what happens. I know where we start the story and where it ends. And what I start doing is I simply sit down and I start laying out, doing a quick rough layout. And then what I do is then I take each panel and I draw them a little bit bigger and do a little bit more, adding more details to it until I'm happy with it. And then I'll scan it into the computer, into Photoshop. I have a template already set up, and I'll stick the layouts, the quick sketches into the template. Then I'll print them out, and then I'll use them as the basis for what I'm actually going to do. That way, the final sketch, it's the right size. It's pretty much exactly how I want it to be. And so the next step for this process is to start doing each of these panels a little bit larger. And before I do that, I'm going to grab some scrap paper so I quit wasting this Bristol paper. Bristol paper is for illustration. It's not for layouts and stuff, but that's okay. All right. Let's see. Tell the kitten no means that. Yep. P.S. Muncher says glove makes sense when drawing. Less graphite smudges. Well, that's one of the reasons why you'll notice on this one, I left the thumb. These are just like $75 mittens from Walmart. I left the thumb on this one because that's what usually hits the paper. The rest of my fingers, it doesn't. It's fine, but that's just a little trick for anybody out there who draws a lot. Oh, I actually have to pull out my copy of Hero. Book 1, because I'm drawing. This is the character. This is Uncle Quincy. So I'm going to draw him. He's actually in 1, 2, close-ups in 2 panels, and then we have him flying away. I'll have to. Right now, I just have an idea of what he looks like when he flies away, but I'll have to actually do some Google research and actually get an idea of what an owl looks like as it's flying away, just to make sure I get the anatomy close to what I'm going for. So. All right. Let me just move some stuff around. There we go. All right. This particular panel here, page 2, panel 1, is a close-up of his face, which doesn't look anything like him, but that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to just start doing a... Now, one of the things I know when I'm doing these layouts, as you can see, is I know there's going to have to be word balloons in here. This first panel probably won't have any word balloons. It'll probably have a dialogue box telling you where we're at. And then there's conversations between these 2 characters here, so some of the word balloons will have to fit like around here. And then on this one, this particular panel, I've got all this space here to put word balloons. So this will be where the majority of whatever he's saying is going to be said. And then there'll be a word balloon here, and then maybe a goodbye type thing here, and then there'll be a dialogue box here, and Z's, and these critters coming out behind him, and then a close-up of them saying something, whispering. So that's about as much writing as I do for this. I kind of get an idea of what has to be said, how many panels I need to say it, and then I work on laying out the page. I always think about it visually more than I do with the words and so forth and the dialogue and all. And that's okay. That's just how I do it. I don't necessarily recommend that for anybody out there who's trying to be a comic book illustrator and a writer and so forth. Do as I say, not as I do. That's one of those long-standing things that, I have my way of doing things. It may not work for you, but you're more than willing to try. You're more than willing to give it a shot. I will tell you that if you want to be a artist in the mainstream, you want to work for Marvel, you want to work for DC, they definitely don't do it this way. And I did a project one time. It was for Action Labs. You guys may have heard of them. They do Zombie Tramp is one of their main titles that they're known for. I'm sure they have others. I don't keep up with them at all. But they had gotten a license one time to do a kid-friendly book, which they were going to do on, it was going to be digitally online. And one of the main guys contacted me and said, hey, you've got like a kid-friendly style. Are you interested in doing this? And I said, sure, no problem. And they wanted to see tight pencils for every page before they approved me to continue working on it. And so I had to send them tight pencils, and that's something I never, ever, ever do. This is kind of the tightest I get, But so it was a different way of doing it, and it's okay. I did it. I did their 0 issue, the first issue, the third issue. It was like a 4-issue limited series with a 0, and I did the art for 3 of the issues or 2 of the issues. I can't remember exactly what. It's been so long, but they were available online, and it was kind of cool. It was a cool experience. I mean, it was one of my very first actual paying gigs in the comic industry, and that was kind of cool. I actually got a page rate and everything. It wasn't one of these things where they were like, hey, will you do this? You're friends of ours. Will you do this for us? Which I've done those type of projects too, but this was my first, paying gig, and it was kind of cool. And I still have the original art around here too. One of the things that was interesting is they had set it up for a certain number of pages, and I had an idea for making the introduction page, which introduced all the different main characters. I said, why don't we make this a double-page spread? And they were like, oh, we've got it set for this number of pages. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. And then they came back and said, yeah, we'll do it. Go ahead and do the double-page spread and let us see how it looks. And I did it, and it came out pretty good. I mean, I was happy with it. I think they were happy with it. I kind of gave my own style to the characters, which was kind of a bad thing because they wanted all the characters to look. It was kind of like a Smurfs type thing where all the characters look exactly the same. They have the same body type and all, where when I drew them, I wanted to, give them my own little flair, my own little touch. And I know my editor probably went back and redid several of the panels after I turned them in, which is all right. That's fine. But I kept wanting to give them my own little twist on it. And by the way, if you're working on a licensed property for somebody, they want it to look the way they want it to look. And I'm not saying that was the reason. I don't know if I don't even know if those books are even out there anymore. If anybody's looking for them, but I did not do the covers, which I wish I could have pressed it and said, but some girl did the covers, and they look very very childlike, childish. I mean, hey, that's what they wanted. That's cool. So I'm just saying I could have done a better job. That's all. D says, "Is the comic still online?" It might be. I I have no idea. I know the company. I was later told by my editor that the company went out of business right after, pretty much after the project was finished. It wasn't because of what we did, of course. Well, I don't know. It could have been, and they were just not telling me. But um, from what I understand, the company they blew all their money, all their capital on different things, and they just ran out of money, and they had to close up shop. And that's something that happens. And if it's still out there, I do not know. I mean, you can do a Google search and find out. I think the comic was available on Comixology. I don't know if it's a free one or if you got to actually pay for it now, but like I said, it was a kid-friendly type thing, and called Glob World. GLOB World. The company, the guys who had commissioned them to do the comic, it was supposed to be like it was everything from like a card game to an online web type interactive thing with kids. And I mean, it was all cool ideas. Everything was a cool idea. It's just they ran out of money. And that's the kind of thing that happens sometimes. So, all right. Uncle Quincy was originally supposed to be a very large brown owl, but Avery, my good friend Avery, who I love dearly, when he was working on Hero Book 1, he didn't pay attention to the dialogue. He didn't read the actual book. He just colored it. And every now and then he'll ask me, "Hey, what time of day is it in this particular page?" And I tell him, and he'd say, "Okay, I'll base the colors on that." But when he started to color Uncle Quincy, he colored him gray. And it wasn't till after the fact that I actually said, "Oh, by the way, he's supposed to be a brown owl." And he was like, "Ah," and I said, "Don't worry about it. That's a simple change of the dialogue on like maybe one page. So it can easily be big gray owl instead of big brown owl, so it's not a big deal." And so Quincy, Uncle Quincy, due to Avery, became a gray owl instead of a brown owl, which, that's all right. All right, this is extra 2, panel 1. This way, when I scan it in, I got a little note where it's supposed to go. And that's done. And then we work on the next panel, which is actually the raccoon. I got to get out the sketch of the raccoon. All right. This is the raccoon character that we did the other day. And put him up here. And then Countdown says, what, CX? Okay, cool. Nice to meet you, Countdown. Welcome to the show. All right. Now, this one might be a little difficult because I've never drawn this character other than that one drawing from the other day. So I'm not sure. It's one of these things where I've never actually drawn him from an angle other than that one angle. So it may take a few shots to get him right. But Yeah, I can tell I've already screwed this up. I made his nose way too big, but that's okay. That's why we do these sketches. All right, so Kitten says, thanks. How long you been drawing for? Oh, pretty much since high school. My friends and I, we met in high school. We went to an art school, and we were all comic book fans, and that brought us together, and we've been friends ever since. And we always encouraged each other, and we always wanted to work in comics or so forth. And some of us actually went and did work for major studios like Image Comics and so forth. And then others went on and just did their own thing. And then others went to college and ended up going into animation instead of comics, which that would be our friend Todd. And me, I became a dad and kind of worked on comics in my spare time. And this is me doing some layouts for a backup story for book 1, which is already done. You guys are actually seeing this. This is, if I say this is original art nobody's ever seen, it's because I'm actually drawing it right now. P.S. says, so do you write down the story or just go with these page thumbnails? Believe it or not, I just go with the page thumbnails. I just start I've always described it as I see it visually better than I see it written down on paper. And that's just a me thing. And all right. Get an idea for this is actually kind of funny. This face is changing from what I originally laid out of this particular character, but I think I'm starting to like it more. So I mean, the character is I'm still developing and designing the character as I go along, and you never know. Sometimes you'll draw something and you'll do it a little bit different from the way you did it before, and then you'll end up liking it more. And as you can see, I'm kind of digging this character's face. Like I said, I've never drawn him in any other angle so far other than that very first one. Says, "Oh, D, that's mean. I'm not almost a granddad. I'm old enough I could be a granddad, but I'm not. My daughter, who is probably she has a boyfriend now, pretty serious boyfriend, and I've asked her. I said, "Are you going to make me a grandfather anytime soon?" She says, "Nope. I don't want any parasites in my life." And I go, "Okay." Parasites, by the way, is her code for children. And you know what? Having had 2 of them in my life, it's a good description. All right. All right. I really like this one. I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more, but I really like this particular angle of him. It's a little bit more solid, more fleshed out, I think. So I'm actually liking this. I'm not actually even sure if he's still a raccoon. Well, yeah, he's still a raccoon. But all right. See, in this particular panel, he's like telling Quincy, "Don't worry, you can trust me. I'm a good raccoon. I'm dependable. I'll be there for you. I'm always there for you." And then the next page, he's asleep, asleep at the wheel type of thing. So, all right. And then all this in here. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll fill it in black I may do like a gray tone when I actually do the illustration, and if Avery's going to color it, he can make it color it darker. But uh-oh. Guys, we're getting visited. Yes, it is the kitten. It is the super cute kitten Princess Regal. This is, she has figured out how to get up on my desk, and she has come to visit me. And I have a little rack up here in front of my in front of the computer where I can put stuff up, and she has, I'll show it to you. This little wire rack where I put like all my references is up here, and she really likes to hide underneath there, which is okay. She's off the main table. The bigger cats, they wouldn't fit underneath there, so they would plop their big asses right here in the middle of my drawing table. So for the moment, she is allowed to visit. And as long as she remains a good kitty, it's fine. Okay, this is extra 2, panel 2. Whoops. Once again, I just put a little note on here so I know, Yes, she wants to help. She could be my my model. Except I'm not drawing cats. But that's okay. All right. Kids add meaning to your life. Yes, they do. Oh, Confetti. Hey, how's it going? He says, round 2. No, I don't think so. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. Countess, she wants to help. Yes, she does. You're going to need thicker gloves. Ain't that the truth? But she's very well behaved, and she's right now giving herself a little quick bath, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't know why she was just in a mood to torment me and play with me. Confetti says I'm working on a sunflower drawing. Oh, okay. I am not very good with drawing flowers. Actually, there are some flowers that are in book 1, and they're pretty much circle with, yeah, I see. That's my idea of a flower. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually jumping ahead. This panel here is just his back as he's waving goodbye. That's something that's easy to do. Excuse me. So I'm going to jump to this panel where he's leaning against his staff. Could be a spear. I don't know. I haven't decided just yet. And sleeping. So I'm going to draw him asleep. And I really like this sketch of him, so I'm going to use that as kind of the basis for what I'm going to do here. The kitty will be a character in book 5. Maybe. Actually, there is a cat character in book 3. She's actually only seen in one panel. And I did the drawing of her, and I really liked how it came out. And it's one of those ones where you do a drawing, and then the story of who the character is and what they are in the story and all that comes out of the drawing. It's not like I got to create a character who's this, and then you start designing it. It was the other way around. I drew the character and went, oh, I know exactly what she's, and she's a witch. She's actually a bad lady in the story, and her name is Bast, and she is potentially going to be a reoccurring character. I love the design I did for her. It's one of these ones where I did the first sketch of her, and it fit perfectly for what I was going for, that I ended up using just that original sketch, redrew it, and then because the particular story part that she was in was all penciled, and just the drawing I did became the image of her in the book. It fit perfectly, and I was very happy with it. And how do you draw somebody sleeping? With their eyes closed. don't think I've ever drawn anybody sleeping before. Actually, well, yeah, I kind of did. I drew Pudge sleeping in book one, but he's a bird, so no, she's not ready to attack. She's kind of bathing herself and resting right now. Now, I will admit she is resting right on top of one of my drawings, so I'm going to have to rescue the drawing eventually. But that's okay. It's something that I can deal with later. I wonder if when he's sleeping, his ears get folded back a little bit. That's something cats do or animals do. When they're sleeping, their ears get folded back. All right, what kind of expression should he have on his face to indicate, that he's sleeping? And like, yeah, see, I don't have a mirror available, or else I'd be looking in a mirror, like, kind of snoring. What does that look like? Oh, you know what? I think I know. Yeah, sometimes we have to add sound effects. Boy, he looks like a cat more in this image now. I'm not a raccoon. I think that's because I made his nose a little bit too big, but that's okay. No. All right. He'd be hunched over. With his hands close together. He's leaning on his staff. All right, I might have to rethink this one because I need to give him the physical appearance of somebody sleeping, but he's sleeping while he's standing up. So yes, this face is okay, but it's not. It doesn't work for what I'm trying to do. That's okay. How do you draw somebody sleeping standing up? See, that's something I have to figure out. How about he's got his head down, shoulders up. Wouldn't he be more relaxed? If you're standing up and you're leaning on your spear, it's almost like you'd have your head on your hands, kind of having your face squished. You guys can't see this, but I'm actually like leaning up against my hands, and it's all right. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And if I remember from his original sketch, he had a big old tummy. Hey, what are you doing? You holding my finger? No, don't bite my finger. Oh, she's licking my finger. She's so precious. Anybody out there want a kitten? You can't have her. She's too precious. Actually, she's going to make me rich and famous because she's so cute. She's so cute. I'm going to make videos about her all the time, and she's going to make me rich and famous. Like Avery says, she's going to get me 1 million subs and 1 million views. kind of looks almost like he's drunk. More, it's less of sleeping and more of you know. What's funny is I can actually crop out his feet, so I don't have to worry about the way his feet are positioned. But if I was thinking it ahead of time, um, how would his feet be? You know what? He'd actually, you know what? He's probably crouching down. That would actually make a little bit more sense. And his tail, of course, instead of being up, would actually be down, like almost like on the ground type of thing. Yeah, if we were looking at his full body, it would be like this. So, okay. So we're going to use that as our guide. I think the sharp end would be in the ground, and he would use the bottom of the spear to prop up his head. Well, see, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Hey, Commodore, how's it going, man? I don't think I said hello earlier when you were on, but how's it going, man? Oops, nope, I want to do this long ways. See, now, here's the thing. I'm drawing this kind of larger than the panel. The panel itself in my template is how many inches is it? Oh, it's like 5 by 10.5 inches, something like that. And so this image, of course, will be larger than that. So that's why I scanned it into the computer, and then I resize it so it fits the template, and then I'll print it out and I'll use that as my starting point for when I'm working on this. You're really interested in this pencil, aren't you? Her older brother, who's actually not related to her in any way, my wife's cat Benji, likes to come and sit right in front of my computer, and he watches the mouse move, the cursor move for the mouse. He thinks he watches it, and every now and then he'll try to grab it. That's pretty funny. There's a video out there of him doing that. It's pretty funny. Whereas Avery says, only you think it's funny. This, all right, the only thing I don't like about this is he doesn't look comfortable at all. It almost looks like he's dying on his spear in a way, you know? It doesn't, it's not conveying somebody sleeping. All right, it's all good in the hood, says Commodore. Very good, very good. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe his shoulders would be. Actually, you know what? I can cheat. Yeah, I am a little tired. It was a long day, and I did construction in the house. You missed it earlier, but I showed the hole in the floor that I made trying to replace some floor things. You know what I just thought of? Instead of having him lean up on his staff, I could have him actually, sitting down. Well, I for the character, I actually Hey, Todd, what's up, man? I sent you an invite. You want to join? You want to come in and say hi? I can resend it to you if you'd like. What's on the drawing menu for tonight? I'm working on some layouts for a backup story that I'm planning on putting in Hero Book 1. This is a new, never-before-seen story. Here, I'll send you an invite and you can join. Send you another one. Can't, still visiting family. All right, fine, whatever. Oh, I keep, Todd, since you're there, I keep wanting to tell the story about the darts. And I was going to tell it the other day when we were talking about you. And I said, I really can't do this. I can't tell this story if you're not here. You got to be here to keep me honest on the goings on of the story. So it's a story I want to eventually tell on stream, but I want you there with me. So he knows what I'm talking about when I say the dart story. It's a pretty funny story. Actually, it's really not funny. It's very much a very painful memory, but whatever. Wait, if you have him lying down on top-down view, and his hugs in spear like a teddy bear, and then the pointy end is under his feet. Ah, the dart story. Yeah. All right. See, I want to go from him standing there, defiant, ready to take on the world, and then the next time you see him, 2 pages later, he's sound asleep. All right, Todd says he's going to try to join on Monday. Excellent. Guys, if you guys join, we'll tell some good stories if Todd's able to come. There's only so many stories I can tell without him there because, he has to keep me honest. Because I might misrepresent what happened in the story. All right, that seems silly. All right, this isn't working either. All right, I'm going back to this one. I like this one, but I just need to work on it a little bit more, the body language a little bit more. But yeah, it's one of those things where eventually I'll get it right. That's why we do all these sketches, Now we got these 2 rat characters in the background, and they're kind of evil looking. They have long, pointy noses. Actually, they have long, pointy snouts. Their noses are very small. Where are you going, Kitten? All right, she's done with me. She finished her bath and decided she's going away. Oh, yeah, I'll make sure you don't elaborate. Yeah. With the dart story, I'd tell it in a way that makes it seem like it was your idea when actually it was my idea to begin with. It really was. It was really my idea, and that's really stupid of me. Actually, it's one of the biggest stupid things I've done in my life. And of course, it was with my good friend Todd. Because, yeah. Oh, hey, you came back. Do you mind? Hi. What you doing? Is this your way of telling me I'm done drawing? Hey, you. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's purring. She's very happy right now. All right. I think this is her way of telling me I'm done drawing, but that's okay. No, it's been an hour. Okay, cool. I did my time. But thank you guys again for joining. I got some layouts done. I still have a long way to go. I only scribbled out the first 3 pages. I think this is going to end up being 8 pages. So there's still a lot more to do. I'm going to continue working on it probably through the next couple of live streams. So you guys can hang out and see the process, see what goes into making the comic hero. So it's kind of cool. I hope you all enjoy. I hope you find it interesting and entertaining, because that's what I want to do, is give you guys entertainment, even for just a little hour. But I appreciate you all coming and checking out. Thank you again, Commodore, Todd, everybody else. I know there's a couple new people in there, Confetti, and I know there's at least one other new person in here. Countdown, very nice to have you guys here. D, of course, PS Melter, always. And thanks again. We will be live streaming again Monday, most likely at the normal time. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be at the normal time, which is 7:30 Eastern time. I am not staying up late, even though I don't have to go to work the next day. So, but it'll be a short stream, just do our normal thing. And then starting on Wednesday, we start the whole new show. We are going to, I'm sorry, Monster Cookie. You missed it. Yeah, we're wrapping up. But the video, the live stream will be available, and I'll take the drawing video and I'll speed it up and make that available tomorrow. So if you want to just watch the drawing part. So as I was saying, Wednesday, which will be January 2nd, we're going to start a whole new show. It'll be Misfit Corner Comics presents the Hero Hour. And we're actually going to make it into a show. We're not going to just sit around and chit-chat and draw. We're actually going to do other stuff like comic reviews, movie reviews, all that other stuff. But, I want to be, like I told Avery, I said, I want to be more professional and I want to be more organized, which means 5 minutes into the show, we're going to completely dump that because we'll have lost it already. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to crawl up me? You are so precious. Here, I'll let you guys see her. Let me see how cute she is. Hey. Hey. You want to say hi to everybody out there? You want to say hi to all your fans? I'm fairly certain they don't come here to see me. They come here to see you. Regal. Hey. Princess Kitten. Hey. Look up. Look. Look at the camera. Say hi. Hi, guys. See you all next time. All right, everybody. Take it easy. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you all on Monday. Bye.